Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome for the first time. So I like to talk on my channel a lot about journals, and you're probably wondering what the world does all of this fluff have to do with journals. So I've been loading up some videos lately, and I've been starting with talking about how I kind of been gone for 2 months since the end of January. I took family medical leave to come down to Florida. I was in New York. I was living in New York City, and I got a call. My mother was really ill, so I came down. She had a stroke, and then she had another stroke, and I came down, and while I was down here, I have 2 daughters and I have some brothers and sisters, but something that I've always wanted for my journals was a little kind of cozy cover to protect it. And I have one daughter that is really quite exceptional, in my opinion. But of course, we always think when we have kids that our kids are exceptional. But I think that she has pretty good talent with knitting, and she's knitted me some really beautiful scarves in the past. But what I have been asking from so many people, other people who also know how to knit, I'm always like, will you build me a little cover? I want something for my journal. So I'm gonna pull over my recent stash. So these are the things I'm journaling in. This one I don't need a cover. This is my music journal that I keep track of music that I'm learning, learning to play the cello. Yes, this could be a violin, but it's not. This is for a cello. So I do my journaling in this, and I don't need it in a cover. It's not really that fancy, but I do have one. It could fit in. I think it could fit in this one. So, oh well, it's having a little rough time getting in there. Well, no, I think this one is more for nano size, which I do have a nano. But anyway, so I have this, but it doesn't need it. I don't use that in it. But what I did, I'm going to go to the very first one. So I think I was in my Maverick. I wonder if I have a B6 Maverick. Well, I have been in a B6, so it must have been a B6, and I was either in this or something else. And my daughter came to visit when my mother was first in the hospital, and I had said to her that what I'd really like is a cover. And I was trying to journal because I was spending a lot of time in the hospital with my mother, and so I was inside my journal, just kind of almost like an art journal, self-care. And then I started trying to use it also for things related to my mother that was medical related, and that didn't work out. But for the topic of conversation for today, so this one is the one my daughter made me. I added on this, and I added on a button, but she knitted this for me, and it fit like a glove, and I was very happy with it. And then I added this on there. I put that on myself, and I sewed on this little button just to be cute. I did that. And so then my mother ended up really, she went through, she's still recovering. She went through quite a long time in rehab. And so my mother used to love to knit. She would knit hats and scarves and donate them to like St. Jude's Hospital or other various nonprofits. She would just knit hundreds of them, and then she would mail them off. So I got my mother's knitting things, and I brought them to the rehab center, and I was knitting there because I was spending many hours there. When she was there, eventually I had to make a trip somewhere, and then I was gone for a bit. But when she first was in there, I was literally there every day, quite a number of hours each day. So I brought the knitting stuff that my mother had, and I knitted this one, and this is the first one I did. Now I added this little flower on here, and when I first knit this, it was too long, and I thought that's okay. And I curled it down and gave it a cuff. I think that was, I'm not sure if I did that on purpose. I might have done it on purpose. It's been a while now. And then I have this little hair clippy, and I was like, oh yes, yes, this is cute. I will put this on here. So I did that. So this is a B6, but an A5 would fit in there. I tried it. It's pretty stretchy. And oh, what's in there? I think something must have fallen out. Oh yeah, this business card that I keep shoving back into here. So, but I'm not in this anymore. I'm actually inside. So this is a B6. This could be a B6. This is what I've moved into now. I'm currently using my Waypoint folio from Chic Sparrow, and it fits in there just fine. But honestly, the Waypoint doesn't really, in my opinion, need protection, but it fits in here very loosely, lots of space in there. But this one from Chic Sparrow, which was also a B6, is an Austin in Mr. Darcy. Also from, that's what it is. It's an Austin and it's a Mr. Darcy. That's the new line. That's what they're calling it. So you may have known it in the past, this toffee from the Darcy line, but it's officially, this was a new one that I just had ordered. This was the very last thing I ordered from them, and I love this baby so much. And I did want to protect it, even though it has a great deal of character, which I requested. It has a great deal of character in this hide, and that's what I requested, but I still wanted to protect it. And I have been loving on this since I received it. But my B6 Stalogy just got too chunky, so I moved into the Waypoint. And Waypoint, the amount of conditioner that it has in it, the amount of oils that are in this hide, make it so that it hides blemishes really easy. But still, if I wanted to, I could fit it in here. And I feel pretty confident that an A6 would fit in there as well. Now I do have a moleskin, which is Chic Sparrow wide, and it fits very loosely in there, and it's way too long for that. So this one is not for that. But this is basically what I have been up to, is making these little covers for my notebooks. And I made this one also. This one was, let me see where my A5 is. I mean, I'm sorry, my A6. It fits it like a glove. I was experimenting with different types of yarns. So I don't know the name of these. I will try to look up what types of yarns these are. But if you have these, this one is just a moleskin, just like my music one. That one's for art sketching. But if you have any traveler's notebooks that have a leather cover that is sensitive, like my Darcy, I'm just curious, how do you preserve yours? Do you just, I mean, I have to say mine get beat up pretty bad even with these covers on it, because I do throw them in my bag, in my purse. I'll have to say, when I was in New York, I definitely took much better care of my TNs, but I had this really beautiful leather Coach bag that I used all the time, and it had a special slot that it was like the only thing that went in there was that, so there was nothing there to scratch it. But I also did keep it inside the cloth bag that Chic Sparrow sends their TNs in when they ship them out. But I got really excited and I started making all of these little covers. I got a little crazy. This one is the one my daughter made me, so it was really cute. And this one was Experiment, and I think that came out too small, but I decided that my Passport, or definitely the Nano, I think maybe my Passport might fit in it. I have a thin Passport. I'm not sure. But I just was having fun with these. And so I wanted to share with you and to show you these. And you can go to places like Michael's or Joann's and you can buy the circular looms and you can experiment with different sizes, and I feel that the knitting instructions on it are pretty simple. I mean, obviously, look, I did it. And you could make these for your own. Otherwise, please, leave me some comments down below and let me know, other than maybe that cloth bag, what do you do? Do you sew something else? Do you use your sewing machine and you make something out of a different fabric, maybe some felt cover bag? I don't know. What do other people do? Because I know that when it comes down to my Darcy's, that they're very sensitive, and also even my Mavericks, because they're sensitive to water, and even though they're very heavy and durable, a heavy-handed leather and very firm, I still don't want my Mavericks getting all scratched up to bits and pieces. I think that's mostly what I have, is that I have my Hemingways, which is basically Darcy leather. So for me, trying to protect the cover is something I somewhat try to do, but not always. I don't get upset that if it gets marks and this and that, but this one, I don't know, I just do really love it, and I guess I was happy to be able to try to protect it. The fact that it ages and weathers and gets little marks and small dings on its own is okay, but that doesn't mean I want to have some big huge scratch from, like, I don't know, my keys, or a zipper from a bag, because I carry all these little bags in, like, not this one exactly, but for, when I have bags inside my purse that have these type of zippers, they're cloth bags. Sometimes I do put a bag that's like this, but usually they're soft. But I don't want the zipper scratching up against it, so it's nice to have a cover. Anyway, I just wanted to share those with you and let you see what I've been doing. I've kind of slowed down in making these. Oh, I'm gonna insert, this is kind of funny. I think you're gonna laugh a little bit at me, but I'll try to figure out how to insert a photo at the end here. What else I did is, so my mother, she's not using the wheelchair so much right now, but definitely for transport, I would still be using the wheelchair. In the house, my mom with a cane is starting to walk again. I mean, I have to walk with her to keep her safe so she doesn't fall. But at first, when my mother came home, pretty much 100%, she was in the wheelchair all the time. And the wheelchair has this little, like, textury things where your feet go. And my mother would be barefoot around in the house, getting in and out of the wheelchair. And she was saying how that they were rough. So I made a couple of these to put on the little cover where you put your feet on the wheelchair. And I'll insert a clip in here at the end to show you a picture of that. So just one more way that I've been keeping busy during this, coronavirus time, and while I'm caregiving for my mother down here. Anyway, that's all I have to say. So wherever this meets you at, morning, afternoon, or evening, I wish you well. Please be safe in these times. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Have a good day. Bye, everyone.